Implement a bowel elimination program based on previous habits. It will be based on previous habits because we don't have a normal, yung parang standard elimination process. So it will be based on kung ano yung normal or ano yung used to sa pasyente. Then we have to raise the bed cycles to prevent falls or injuries and provide emotional support to the patient and his family, especially if the patient is in coma state or in stupor state. We have to give fluids as ordered and monitor IV infusions to avoid overhydration, so proper regulation of IV. And if the patient has facial weakness but able to eat, so dapat lagay natin dun sa, hindi sa weak side. Of course, dun sa unaffected side of his mouth. Kapag may airway siya, artificial airway, or meron siyang advanced airway, or intubated endotracheal tube, so we have to suction secretions to prevent accumulation of the secretions of the mucus and thus preventing hypoxia and vasodilation from CO2 accumulation. Then we also have to monitor pulse oximeter levels at all times and ABGs and use these levels to be guide for us to determine appropriate needs of supplemental oxygen. So in our setup, as we get the ABG, the physician and also the nurse can interpret the result, and then the physician will compute for the supplemental oxygen or oxygen requirement. Thus, yun yung binibigay natin sa pasyente. Establish and maintain a patent airway as always. Administer O2. Then position the patient to promote pulmonary drainage and prevent upper airway obstruction. Avoid placing the patient in pool position as well as hyperextending his neck. So we always have to provide comfortable position for the patient and para mas yung airway niya, mas open. So let's move on with the case. So our patient is Mr. X from Tondo, Manila, born on July 24th, 1964. He is married, 48-year-old male, Filipino Roman Catholic. The initial diagnosis of the neurologist is subarachnoid hemorrhage with right ventricular extension. So that's we're talking about a while ago sa mga herniation or yung nagpo-form na siya ng hydrocephalus extending to pontine space. So pons, we expect respiratory depression or affectation. Post-secondary to ruptured aneurysm, probably to be specific, left anterior communicating artery. Sa history, we have a brief history, so hindi ko masyadong nakuha lahat ng data because of time constraints dahil 2 days lang sa amin tumagal yung pasyente and decided to do DAMA or the discharge against medical advice. So the chief complaint is naging unresponsive na yung pasyente. 3:30 a.m., patient while lifting block of ice suddenly collapsed and fell to the ground pero wooden floor naman. Ang sabi ng relative ay nakainom daw yung pasyente the night before. After 10 to 20 minutes, he was rushed to una sa Hospital A where intubation was done and also chest X-ray and CPR, but opted to transfer to our institution due to lack of CT scan daw doon sa Hospital A. Then, past medical history, hypertensive daw ang pasyente known for 10 years, but with unrecalled medications because only the patient daw yung nakakaraman yung medications. The relatives don't. Then, not known for DM or allergies, but known with asthma. No previous surgeries, no hospitalizations daw, but with questionable shabu use. So, yun yung binanggit mo ka-live-in partner. With the physical assessment, I decided to only include those with remarkable signs. So, I did not really put into detail yung mga hindi naman ganun ka-significant. So, only those na related sa pasyente. So, general, the patient is unconscious, GCS-3, E1, V1, M1. So, E for eye, V for verbal, and M for motor. So, lahat is scored 111. So, that's 3. So, comatose. Vital signs, BP, initial, this is initial, 160/90, R 397, RR intubated artificial airway, and O2 sat of 80 to 90% via McVenture's artificial airway. Remarkable signs, pink palpebral conjunctiva, pupils 3 to 4, equally reactive to light shock. Symmetric chest expansion, no. No chest retractions noted. With wheezes, dahil nga asthmatic siya, and then rals, a dynamic precordium, no murmurs naman, flabby, soft naman yung abdomen, pulses full and equal sa lahat ng extremities, negative Babinski reflex, and no meningeal irritation. Sa family history, known sila for hypertension and mental illness. Sa side daw ng mother yung mental illness. Then there are ROS. Sa general, afebrile. Sa skin, no cyanosis nor jaundice. Sa head, no head injury. Ears and nose, wala namang remarkable. So sa eyes, ecteric scleremia. So makikita natin mamaya dahil pala elevated yung SGPT level. Throat, so AT tube is inserted. Sa right spine, with wheezes siya because of asthma, rals, no chest retractions, musculoskeletal, so natamaan sa kanyang brain, hemiparesis siya. So wala siyang mga movement. Cardiovascular, medyo sinus tachy siya, so malalaman natin mamaya with our pathophysiology. 2D echo intended and not intended to do na. Then GI with NGT residuals and hypoactive bowel sounds. CNS, comatose to stupor with previous episodes of seizure, and then GCS 3 to 6 with preferential gaze siya ng mga bandang second day niya sa ICU. So, nagkakaroon siya ng preferential gaze dahil nagkakaroon siya ng spontaneous eye opening at left, but no response to pain pa din sa extremities, but with spontaneous eye opening. So, that's why we try to consider the patient with stupor. Sa medications, ito lahat yung meds niya. But I will only be emphasizing yung mga CNS medications kasi yun yung mga nagamit. So, sa IV niya, start siya ng NSS 1 liter for 10 to 12 hours. Nagdimodipine drip, and then mannitol, citicoline, omeprazole, phenytoin, cefuroxime, 8 ml, paracetamol, ito yung feeding niya, Natren Optimum, then antibiotic ng piperacillin, tazobactam, then lactulose, and then motilio. So, some are only supportive. First medication na intended really is mannitol to prevent or increasing ICP pa. And then, syempre, for cerebral edema din siya and intraocular pressure. So, how does the mannitol work? So, this is, by the way, an osmotic diuretic. So, it elevates blood plasma osmolality. So, ini-inhibit nyo yung reabsorption ng water and electrolytes. So, mobilize yung fluids in the cerebral. So, thus, na-eliminate siya. Then, adverse reactions niya. So, these are the adverse reactions. Nursing consideration natin, syempre, number 1, vital signs. Because nagkakaroon ka ng diuretic siya so pwedeng mag-decrease yung BP mo. Then, we have to get the post-mannitol output. So, intake and output balance, INO. Then, CVP, if meron, if available. Then, signs and symptoms of dehydration. So, we have to check for poor skin turgor, dry skin, fever, etc. And then, signs of electrolyte imbalances. So, this is one of the most common things to assess. Dahil madalas nagkakaroon siya ng electrolyte imbalance in terms of potassium. So, nagiging hypokalemic. So, isa sa mga naturo sa akin yung isang magaling na charge nurse ko dito dati. Isa daw sa signs ng electrolyte imbalance or hypo-K pag nagkakaroon ng maraming PVCs yung pasyente or premature ventricular contraction. So, pag chinek na daw yung output, masyadong negative balance na, masyadong marami na siyang output, and then pag chinek na yung potassium, naka-low level na pala siya. So what else? Nagkakaroon siya ng tingling sensation of extremity, muscular weakness, because yun yung mga